All right, episode 70. I realized very quickly here I hit buttons and did not. Oh, man. My audio probably sucks right now. Spencer Uncensored, episode 70. And what a mess, man. Oh, man, this is aggravating as crap. I wanted to, and I don't know how to use this thing. I mean, I'm on this new setup. What's up, Carla Baker from San Diego? Check this out. All right, loving it. Hey, can you tell me if you can hear me? Okay, I cannot get. What a pain in the rumpus. Here we go. Maybe I can fix. Nope, won't let me change it. Dang it! I'm probably like far away. What a nuisance. Sorry about that, friends. Well, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Dan's in the house from New Jersey. Got other. Hey, as you guys start coming in, feel free to let me know. I apologize about the audio. So if it sounds like I'm way off, it's because apparently if you hit the start button before you set the settings, Facebook, man, fuck Facebook. I'm so aggravated with them. They're probably going to throttle that video now that I just said it because, you know, they're watching everything. So, welcome to Spencer Uncensored. It's Tuesday. It is 6 p.m. on the Eastern Seaboard. It is my wife's birthday. So, if you know Amy Combs, make sure you give her a shout out. Grateful for her. Today, I only have a couple things I wanted to say. But before I get into what I'm going to tell you about tonight, let me share with you a little bit of progress because I think I've been doing that every week, and I think you guys are starting to get used to it. So I have, last week I spent 2 days in Nashville, Tennessee, on a new coaching program in addition to another one that I'm in. It takes a village, man. It takes a village to get me where I need to go. I'm just telling you, to keep me between the buoys, it takes a whole group of people, right? So I have multiple coaches. And got started with Coach Burt up at the Greatness Factory, and we are building some things. I'm already in the process of writing the book. We're about 2/3 of the way through with that. I have not made any progress on that because I have shifted to get some other things in place. And I got an event in Lexington, South Carolina. So if you're in the Midlands of South Carolina, I got one coming up on the 17th. That's just in a few days later this week. Excited about that group. That room is about 80% filled up, so there's some more room for more people to come in. That is an Unshakeable masterclass. By the way, if you're hearing this and you have an interest in bringing me into your community, your business, your wherever you're at, I can assure you that the Unshakeable message is going to be helpful to you. The Unshakeable masterclass is a 3-hour version of essentially going over everything that's on this piece of paper. Right? I'm not going to show it to you because it's the entire framework. If you want the entire framework, you got to work with me. You got to talk to me. Now, honestly, you could probably put it all together because I've shared every bit of it over the last year and a half doing these things. This is episode 70. But anyway, so I went to the class last week. We've been starting to put some things together. Got the event coming up on Friday. We are going to roll out a webinar. We're going to have a 4-week course we're going to call Mastery in Motion. That's going to be basically the entire framework and a way to apply it to whatever business you're in. So this is going to be a tremendous amount of, there's a lot of work involved here. Anybody that thinks that, oh man, I would love to do what he does, man, I just get up and tell and give people advice. I don't think you understand the amount of effort it goes into creating everything, setting it up, marketing it. Those of you that are independent contractors and do your own business, maybe you do understand, right? So like real estate agents in the group, there's a ton of them in here. Maybe, you understand what it's like to, man, I'm supposed to be selling houses, setting appointments. I'm supposed to set my CRM up, and I got to do like tags in this, like to keep up and figure out who's where. And I got to remember to do marketing. Oh, I'm supposed to do like all the market stuff of what's happening in the market and do the videos on YouTube. And I got to learn about YouTube SEO. And yeah, the same pain I'm dealing with myself, just in a different arena to be able to better serve you. So anyway, there's been a lot of work, and we're still in the process of doing this stuff, and I'm really excited about it. But here's what I'm probably more excited about I want to put on your radar for right now. down the road, okay, we're going to be starting to do 2-day events, like full-on immersion events. It's something I've always wanted to do. It's something I've always done. I have done these in the past. We used to call them, we call them empowering events and all these different names. But we're going to have an Unshakeable event, which is a 2-day immersion to go through the whole thing and then be networked with a bunch of people that are also doing it and have it. It's a lot of high impact when we do it like that. So we're excited about that. Probably going to do like 4 of those a year and just figure out where in the country people are looking for it and where we're getting the most traction. I'm sure we're going to have a good bit of more often than not. We'll have some here in the South because that's where I am and that's where I have a lot of people that I know. I have a great deal of people also out in California and a few up in the Northeast. So, we're going to move it around the country, but I'm looking forward to these 2-day events because nothing changes a person's life more and it creates a transformation like an immersion event. So anyway, if you're interested, if you like the idea of immersion event, man, give me some thumbs up or something. Let me know that you're here. Because I'm telling you, one of those events like that, it makes a huge, huge difference, right? So, yep, Callie's in the house. I love it, Carla. Carla's been kicking ass recently, getting some big deals put together. We're going to keep that moving too, by the way. So, we're going to have events going on, and then we're also going to roll out our Business Booster program. I haven't done that in 5 years. The Business Booster is for any company that probably has 2 or more employees. It works really well with like 2 to 10. I have to scale differently when we go past 10 employees, but any company that has about 2 to 10 employees, I can almost, listen, I got case studies where we help people 2.5 times their business. My favorite one is the one where we took the insurance broker, Albert. We took him, he went from $1 million in production to 700,000. So he dropped. That's part of the reason why he called me. He's like, hey, I know this is about to happen. I'm about to lose 30% of my book of business. I don't know what to do, right? So we got together. We put him in the Business Booster program, worked with him for a year. He finished in 12 months. He and his team did 1.8 million in volume or production. That's income, folks. That's not, when I say $1.8 million, it's not like when real estate agents say, oh, I did a 1.8 million in volume. Get out of here with that nonsense. We're talking about literally not only that, but we also saved him $100,000 a month in expenses. I'm sorry, $100,000 a year. Excuse me, $100,000 in the year, because it was almost like 10 grand a month. It was like 9,000 just floating out, going all over the place. He managed to get all that under control and then explode his business. It was amazing. That's what the Business Booster program is. It is the most expensive thing that I do, but hey, listen, would you pay me $25,000 if I turned around and gave you 1.8? Or just the increase of 1.1? That's a no-brainer, folks. That's what we do. So we're excited about what we got going on. All this stuff works. That's the cool thing about all of this. It works. If somebody's committed to an outcome, things are gonna happen. So, whoo, boy, I hate about the audio, by the way. I'm sorry that I wish I could have done it a little bit differently. I'm just curious. Does anybody have any questions, comments, thoughts that maybe I could help you with in the business? Got any questions? Feel free to drop it in the chat. I'd love to help you guys out. I'm going to say it this way. And another thing that I just implemented was that you guys anybody that's listening to this can get a text from me 5 days a week. If you go to spencercombs.com, right there on the homepage, there's a place for you to fill out a little information, and you'll get a text from me every morning. Every morning, somewhere between 7:30 a.m. Eastern, so it's like 4:30, somewhere in there, Pacific. It's going to be some sort of momentum or mastery conversation. This morning, I sent a text, and I reminded everybody of the simplicity that if you're not getting what you want, it's only going to come down to one of 3 primary things. It's either movement, meaning taking action, It's going to be mechanics, like what or how you're doing things, or it's going to be mindset, the way you perceive it. It's always been mindset, mechanics, and movement. I usually go at it in the route that I just gave it to you, because we have to get out of drift. We have to become a driver, which then puts you right into the pathway of what we call the qualified champions framework, which is the mindset and mechanics, right, and how they interact with each other. So one of those three things are off. Sometimes it's all of them, but it can be any of those things. I know that sounds super simplistic, but here's the thing. We can break it down, because like I just told you a minute ago, look at that, look at that, look at that. Somebody's going to see that and then like pause it and like, oh, let me write that down. The entire thing has now been put in a framework where you can visually see the whole thing. I finally took the time to do that. It took me like an hour and a half today. That's terrible. I really should just get a VA to do that kind of thing. But, you know, today I was working through it in my mind, so I needed to do it myself. It's really hard to just explain it to somebody else. But anyway, mindset, mechanics, and movement. That's it. One of those three. And I'm going to be preaching that probably till I'm dead. Let me hone in on mindset. Carla talking about, show that to me again. I want to show that to you again. Look, Carla, check that out. You like that? It's all the way back there. You can't read it. I'll tell you what, Carla. You get me on an airplane out there and a group of people that want to hear the Unshakeable framework, I will give everybody a copy, because they're going to have to fill in all the blanks. But anyway, mindset was the one that seemed to come back to me more often than not. For some people, it's a conversation around mechanics, truthfully. But I think maybe it's the circles I'm in, but a lot of people are like, oh, my mindset. I need to work on my mindset. I think that's indicative of what we're seeing because of just the general environment, like the world, society right now. Everything's all over the place, right? There's so much unrest, uncertainty. Everybody just, and so, you know, the mindset is taking a toll. I need to, I don't know what you're into, what you're working on, what kind of business you're doing. But sometimes we look at other people and we think they're just gifted or they're just genius. Like they're gifted. Yes, there are people that are gifted at, you know, running a business, sales, you know, accounting, whatever you want to, you know, whatever facet of the business you want to look at. Yes, there are people that are gifted in some of those regards because they just have that natural tendency. But the truth is that doesn't necessarily mean that that you should stop working to grow. Because if you ascribe, guys, I'm preaching, y'all hold on, listen to this. This is important. If you ascribe to a culture of where you think that people are gifted, right? A culture of giftedness, if you will, a gifted culture, let's put it that way. If you ascribe to that, then you might actually take your foot off the gas and not actually reach your personal full potential. I heard it this way. Just because, take your favorite musician, whatever, let's say they play the guitar, right? Maybe you look at that and you're like, man, they are gifted. And some of them are super gifted, and then they refined it and got even better. And now they're massive, you know, just way up on the mountaintop in terms of their level of skill. That, maybe you'll never be at that level, right? So like the real estate agents in this group, maybe your business is not going to be, you know, we're not closing 2,000 transactions a year. But that doesn't mean, just because they have it put together doesn't mean that it's going to impact whether or not you're going to grow. What's your level of growth? What are you looking to do? How far do you want to take it? Forget what they're doing. What are you going to do? The mindset piece can sometimes take a toll because we compare ourselves, and then it's not just a comparison, but we take that comparison and then we just attribute to them that they have some special gift. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Maybe they do have a gift, but so do you. One of the gifts you have is that you have the capacity to grow. What are you doing with that gift? Bloom where you're planted. Guys, that's all I got for you tonight. I'm excited about where this is going. Apologize for the audio again. I'll do better. I'm getting used to this whole Facebook platform versus I am going to probably figure out how to stream it so that I can do it on multiple platforms. But for now, Spencer Uncensored episode 70 is in the books on my wife's birthday with a sneak peek of the full Unshakeable framework. And if any of you guys need anything, feel free to reach out to me and reach out to me. Get after your level of growth, your genius, your gifts. Y'all have a good night.